All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's a Friday, but the news doesn't stop just because it's Friday. A very, very busy day today. And the announcement that the Supreme Court of the United States will hear an Obamacare case. And this is something that could, cut the heart out of Obamacare if the court should rule in a certain way. And this involves the subsidies given to those low-income and poor folks who want Obamacare. Joining us now is our friend Kendall Coffey, famed attorney and, of course, author of Spinning the Law. We usually go Spinning the Law with Kendall, but we're in a news capacity now, so no Spinning the Law theme, Kendall. I am so sorry.
I'm good with it. It's Friday. I'm in a good mood about everything. So.
Okay, good. All right, so is this expected? Because you had conflicting rulings from the lower courts, and that's really what the Supreme Court is there for. Talk about what this is all about.
Well, I think it certainly seemed that it might get to the Supreme Court, but what's striking is they don't seem to want to wait very long with respect to this issue of Obamacare, because there was a pending decision in the D.C. Circuit where the whole court was going to hear it. An earlier three-judge panel of the D.C. Circuit had determined it, and the entire court was going to hear it. So this time the Supreme Court isn't waiting to see what a lot of different circuit courts of appeal around the country will do. This time they're moving ahead with the issue, and it's got to be somewhat ominous for the administration because of the interest the Supreme Court is shown in the issue, and frankly, the merits of the issue, because as you know, it's going to center around a small number of words in terms of whether or not this feature of Obamacare can be justified by the statute. It's the words established by the state. Does established by the state also mean established by the federal government? Well, that's what apparently the Supreme Court wants to talk about and decide.
So you think that it's ominous because they consider it something such an important nature, something of such great importance that they've expedited it. That tends to indicate to you they would lean one way or another, and that way being against the administration. That
and just the merits of the issue. There's plenty of support on this Supreme Court for applying the plain language, and the administration has talked about having a common sense perspective in terms of the issue, because from their standpoint, it's common sense that you would apply the Obamacare subsidies not only in the states that have set up exchange programs, but in the vast majority of states, because as you know, most of the states have not embraced Obamacare through state government. They have not set up their own exchanges for Obamacare. So in those states, the individual consumers would be relying upon the federal exchange, and since the language of the subsidy seems to direct toward exchanges established by the state, does that get you to the exchanges established by the federal government, especially when you've got a Supreme Court that often isn't enthusiastic about stretching language and really tries to keep its decisions within the language written by the Congress?
Very interesting. All right, Kendall, let's switch quickly to the appeals court, the lower court ruling yesterday that the ban on gay marriage in 4 states was upheld, and this is in conflict. So now we have to say, now we have competing decisions from different courts on the same level with regard to gay marriage. All the decisions had been going the same way. Does this indicate to you that the Supreme Court would be forced now to settle this once and for all? Does the state have a right to ban gay marriage?
I absolutely agree that it's heading to the U.S. Supreme Court. We all know that, somewhat surprisingly for many of us, but they declined to reach the issues when there had been requests coming up from some of the parties in other federal appeals court proceedings. But the sense, what was logical about their decision to not engage on it was the federal circuit courts of appeal at the time were unanimous in holding that there was a constitutional right to same-sex marriage. Now the Sixth Circuit has said they don't agree with all that. So I think the Supreme Court, which may have been reluctant to reach this obviously controversial issue, is now going to confront it, and now is going to have to decide it.
All right. Kendall, great talking to you, sir. Keep your good mood. Have a great weekend.
Hey, you too. Happy Friday, and talk to you next time.
You got it. Take care. Kendall Coffey, ladies and gentlemen. So honored to have him on this show as a regular participant. The Malzberg panel is next. Lots to talk about. Don't go away.